Let's look at the MChart Pro Annotations feature using this chart as an example. It shows South Korean kimchi exports from 2017 to 2023. If we look at this area chart created from that data, there's a significant jump between 2019 and 2020. It stands out right away, and people viewing the chart will naturally wonder what caused it. We could explain that in the title or subtitle, or mention it above or below the chart. Those are all valid options, but annotations give us a better way to explain why this jump happened. In this case, exports increased between those 2 years because of the COVID lockdowns. Social media activity led to growing interest in kimchi, both for its probiotic health benefits and because people around the world were trying new things while stuck at home. That's a useful and interesting detail to show directly on the chart. Here's how to do that. Once MChart Pro is installed, you'll see a new Add Annotation button above the chart preview while editing a chart. When you click it, a small pill button appears, labeled Annotation 1 by default. You can rename that to anything you like. Most charts, though, won't have more than a few annotations, so the default numbered naming usually works just fine. All annotations share the same top row of fields. The type field lets you choose between the different annotation types, and the label field, as mentioned, is simply a label. The label is only for your own reference, and it appears in the pill button. The order field controls where the annotation appears in the rendering, either below the chart content, meaning the actual content rendered onto the chart, or above it. We're going to leave it set to front so it shows above the content. For the line annotation specifically, you also get a set of colors to choose from. By default, the plugin pulls colors from your current chart theme and offers those, then adds black and red to the list, because those tend to be especially useful in this context. Since we're working with a line, we also have controls for line width, line style, the orientation of the line, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, and whether it includes arrowheads. Finally, there are positioning controls, and those change depending on the orientation you choose. Here, the orientation is horizontal and the position value is 0, so the red line appears at the bottom of the preview. In this case, though, we want to mark when the COVID-19 lockdowns occurred so we can highlight that period in time. As many of us experienced, those occurred roughly a third of the way into 2019, so we're going to switch the orientation to vertical. That also reveals something important about how annotation positioning works. In this chart, the y-axis, the vertical axis, represents the data values. So we have 80 million, 90 million, 100 million, and so on. Those are straightforward to position against because the scale used by the annotations matches those values. If I wanted the line to appear at 100 million, I would simply enter 100 million as the position. In this case, though, we're working with the x-axis, and the x-axis in this chart is a label axis. Even though these are numbers because they're dates, they are not treated as raw numbers by the rendering library. Instead, the positions run from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 because there are 7 labels and it always starts at 0. We want to show that COVID happened about a third of the way through 2019. That gives us a position of 2.33. Now the line appears where many of the COVID lockdowns began. Okay, now we've added the line, but we still need to explain what it means. So let's add another annotation. By default, it's going to be a line annotation again, since that's the first option in the list. In this case, though, we want to change it to a label. A label is simply text. We'll position it where we want it, and for the X position, the horizontal position, we'll use 2.33 again. Then I'll enter the text I want to display. If we look at it now, we can see it appearing here. For the Y position, we have a good amount of white space at the top of the chart, so let's place it there. Let's try 150 million and see where that puts it. There we go. That looks fairly good, but let's move it over a little. How can we do that? We have a couple of options. Of course, we could change the X position a bit, but right now, the alignment is set to center, which also places the anchor point at the center of the text. We could change the alignment to left, and when we do that, the anchor point for the position changes to the left of the text as well. That's looking pretty good. Now let's move it up a little more. We'll try 165 million and see where that places it. That looks good to me. The only issue is that this line is running into the text, which makes the area look a bit messy. So I'm going to move the label a little farther over, and then I'll add a background color. Let's set the background color to white. Now you can see the line is broken up because it sits in front of the chart area. I'm pretty happy with that result. That looks solid. We've now annotated the chart, added context that the data itself doesn't provide, and we've done it in a way that stays with the chart while calling out the specific moment that matters in this data set. Now all that's left is to save the chart. Just like everything else in MChart, your changes appear live in the preview, but it is still only a preview. Until you actually press the Save or Publish buttons, the content you've added will not be saved to the chart. Now we've saved our changes. This chart is annotated, the annotations are saved, and the chart has been improved. Hopefully, this gives you a good sense of how the annotations feature can increase the readability and value of your charted data.